into your range of motion today, noticing anything in your toes, feet, ankles. With some arm movements, we're just going to reach one arm up and back down, and then reach the other arm up and back down. Slow, alternating, reaching up. You could even reach a little higher, like you're trying to reach for something on the top shelf, and then reach up a little bit higher and down. A couple more times. Good. So now we're going to do one leg and one arm. So straightening your arm and reaching your arm up and straightening your leg, and then alternating to the other side. Reach and straighten that leg, and then bring them down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, down. You can do this at your own pace. Again, I always think slower is a little bit more effective, but sometimes we need more movement to get us going. Make sure this feels good on your shoulders. You could always just lift an elbow. And one more, and then we're going to alternate. So now you're going to reach one arm up and the other leg, and then bring them down, and then switch, alternate, opposite foot and leg, and down. Good. Try it again. Good. And I'm sitting kind of in the middle of my chair. My back is not on against my chair as I'm doing this. If you need that support, that's fine. But if you're feeling like you could move away from the back of your chair and do this, that would be great too. A couple more times, maybe a little bit faster now that we've got that motion going. Nice. And then we will lift all four up if you can. Woo! And bring them down. And lift them up again. Woo. Look down at your feet. Do they look similar? Are they doing the same thing? Reach up and down. Reach up. Good. Nice job. So now we're going to do this similar motion, but a little bit more at a diagonal. I'm just going to move these out of the way. So our arms are going to be coming up and down at a diagonal as we do this. So again, it could be your fingers reaching to your shoulders and doing it with elbows. And then your feet are going to come out more at angles to the side. So you might want to bring your knees out to do that. You could reach up and in. Up and bringing everything in. And now see if you can cross. Cross your ankles, cross your wrists. And then open up and cross. Good. Open up. Crossing. Good. Open up. And this time, hug yourself. Give yourself a big squeeze. And open up. And a big squeeze. Maybe even a little massage on your shoulders or your arms. Opening up and cross. Good. Woo, those are big movements. Nice job. Last one. And a big squeeze this time. Maybe even kind of rock side to side or twist a little bit side to side. As if you're hugging your dearest, dearest friend or loved one. Because hopefully that's what you are to yourself. All right, so uncross everything. And then I'm still sitting kind of in the middle of my chair. Inhale your arms up overhead. You could also have your hands on your shoulders. And then we're going to twist to one side for a gentle twist. Your hand could come to the inside of one knee, or if you want a little bit more of a twist to the outside of the opposite knee. Your other hand can either be down by your side or resting over the back of your chair. We'll stay here for 3 breaths because I want you to feel into your torso and how it feels in this spinal twist. Your back, your mid-torso, your shoulders. And then very slowly come back to center and reach up. And then come over to the other side. So hand either to the inside of one knee or the outside of your opposite knee. Your opposite arm is either down by your side or draped over the back of your chair. Looking off to the side, take 3 deep breaths, maybe 5. And again, feel into your torso. Notice how it feels to be in a spinal twist while you're taking deep breaths. Good. And then come back to center, arms reach up. And then we'll go over to the other side again for your twist. And look toward the back of your chair. And then you'll turn your head slowly to look forward as far as you can without pain. And turning your head back and forth a few times. And then also use your eyes. Look as far to one side with your eyes as you turn your head, and then as far to the other side with your eyes. Good. Come on up to center, reaching your arms up. Exhale over to the other side, looking off to the side, and then look back, exploring your range of motion without pain in your neck. And then add in your eyes looking as far to one side, as far back as you can, and then as far forward and to the other side. Inhale your arms up. And then float your arms down as slowly as possible. So if your hands are on your shoulders, that would just be floating your elbows down, slower, like feathers, coming all the way down. Feel almost like your hands are floating. And relax at the very bottom. Take a deep breath. Let's try that one more time. Reach all the way up. And then float. Think of 1 inch at a time. This should take a few breaths. Floating your arms, slow it down. This is a form of yoga that I recently learned about. It's Tibetan yoga, and it's, I think you pronounce it kumni. And it does these really slow motions, which I find like very interesting, and I love the sensation of it. So I like to add it in sometimes. Let's take a couple more of those twists, but in a mindful but faster movement. So either your arms are reaching out or in by your shoulders. And then we're just going to be twisting, looking off to the side, and then twisting to the other side. So try to notice if you can use your muscles in your abdomen, in your hips. Can you feel those activating as you turn side to side? I'm kind of pulling back with my leg on one side as I twist, and then I'm pulling back with my leg on the other side. You could always bring your arms down and do this as well. Remember, we're staying away from pinching or pain, moving with pleasure, coming back to the center. Good, and then we'll take some seated cat-cows. So just rounding your spine, looking down, chin to chest. Then inhale as you lift up into cow, shoulders press back, heart is lifted. Exhale into cat. And you can use your breath to guide you through this movement, inhaling to cow and moving at your own pace. Several more times. One or two more times. Good. And then come to a seated position. We'll continue cat and cow, but more at a diagonal. So think about moving into cat, but moving toward one hip. So you're going to kind of move off to one side into your hip, feeling maybe like a bit of a stretch through one side of your back. And then come forward to the opposite knee. So you're moving in a diagonal into cow. So back into cat, back towards your hip. Oh yeah, and I forgot, Jennifer, I love how Jennifer calls cow howling coyote, especially during the Halloween season. So maybe we could do that. So as you come back towards your hip, and then you move into howling coyote, and you can howl at the moon. That really cool moon that we have right now. And moving one more time into cow on this side. Howl. Then come back to center. Just kind of notice what you feel between your two sides. And then we'll move to the other hip. So into cat, but toward your other hip. And then slowly into howling coyote. And feel free to howl or imagine yourself looking at that beautiful moon that is waning right now. And then back towards your hip. You can do this at your own pace. I'm going pretty slow, but I want to be mindful because I am feeling things in my back, and I want to notice them. So you can come back and howl if you'd like. So one or two more times. Good, and then come back to center. You can kind of just, I was showing a client this yesterday. Imagine that there is a rope pulling you to the side and to the other side. So you could even kind of put your hands right here. So you're gonna press in on one side and imagine that you could pull to the other side. So you're moving your thoracic spine. When you do this, press into this side and you pull out on that side. So you could do this very slowly, or you can make it more of a wave type motion. It might be a new motion for you, so you can experiment with it, see how it feels. But you are also moving through your lower back and your sacrum, so be aware of that. Good, nice. So coming back to center, we're going to take some rocking motions forward and back. bringing some strengthening into your torso, and if you can, stay away from the back of your chair. So coming forward a little bit more onto your seat, so that when you lean back, you're not actually touching the back of your chair and you're strengthening through your deep core muscles. And then you can use your hands to help you as you lean forward. Good, and then back. I like to put my hands on my belly when I do that, so I can feel all of these muscles engaging. Good. And so you're doing this with a straight torso, unlike the cat-cow that we just did. So just moving back, and then we can hold it. If you want to extend your legs out, kind of feel it all the way down through your legs. And breathe. And place your feet down. Make sure that's okay for your lower back. You could also place a pillow behind your lower back if that's bugging your lower back at all. So you're still getting that engagement, but if it was just like a lumbar type support, and you could still lean back, and I still feel that here. So let's do that a few more times, and you can go faster or you can challenge yourself and hold it. Maybe lift those legs again. Good, bring them back down. Take this pillow out. Nice. I'm really thirsty today. So we were talking about, it's hot today. So now, if you have a block or a pillow or a ball or anything, if you don't, that's okay. You can just pretend that you do. You can bring it up to hold it. And actually, if you happen to have two things, you could place one between your knees, and that's not essential. But then having the other one out in front of you, and we'll do some coordination exercises. You can extend the block out in front of you, and then just open it up, bringing it into one hand, and then back to center. So do this a few times. Watch the block. So we're going to do this while you watch the block, side to side, maybe two sides, or two times on each side. Both arms open wide. And now this time, do it without watching the block. And just look at the block when it comes back to center. Two times on each side. And now do it without looking. Close your eyes. Just notice what you feel. It's good shoulder strengthening too. Good. Bring it to center. Open your eyes. Rest. Shake your arms out. Maybe some shoulder circles. Good. Now bring the block back out to center. We'll start there. And then we're going to do the same sort of thing, but just bringing, we're going to be working at diagonals. So the block comes down and your hand reaches up, back to center, and then switch. The block comes down, your hand reaches up. So we're doing these diagonals a few times. This time, bring the block up and your hand down. Good. And the block up. And I'm just lightly squeezing the block that's between my knees. Just kind of helps keep my core engaged. Nice. And then bring it back to center and rest. Take a deep breath. Notice how your energy is flowing in your body again. And if you do have the blocks, bring your feet onto them, especially if your legs are a little bit shorter. And we'll do some of those somatic heel lifts and toe lifts. So this is working into our toes. So I'm lifting just my toes. So I'm not pulling my feet up. I'm just lifting my toes up, spreading them out, really feeling that engagement through all of my toes. Maybe kind of wiggle them a little bit. You can look down and see what they're doing. Clean out the dog hair. And then relax. Now lift your heels. Keep them lifted. Notice how your toes feel as you do that. Press into your, so I'm having to make sure my feet are in the middle of my blocks, but press into your big toe as your heels are lifted. And see how that feels. Now press into your baby toe and how that changes. And then lower your heels. Lift the toes again, spreading them out. Trying to kind of articulate them. See if you can get any movement in one toe at a time. It's challenging. Good. And then rest your toes. Maybe move your feet back to the middle of your blocks. Lift your heels. Press into your big toes. Press into your baby toes. And then bring your heels down. So I'm going to keep my toes like toward the top of my block, but not all the way, because we're going to be doing the heel lifts now. So lifting your heels up, and then slowly, just like we did with shoulders earlier, slowly, as slow as possible, let them slide down. And then at the very bottom, pause. Now lift your heels up again. So this is working into those tiny muscles in our feet, all the way up through your calves, to help regain connection between your brain and your muscles. Remember to pause at the bottom. I forgot that time. And then bring your heels up again. Slowly lower them down. Again, if they feel jerky, shaky, mine do, on the way down, go back to a jerky, shaky spot, even if it's 1 centimeter, and then just try to smooth that little centimeter out. And maybe come back up into it and just gently work it 3 or 4 times. And then bring them all the way down. Pause at the bottom. That lets the brain just integrate what you've done. We'll do it one more time. Heels up. And slowly work it down. Find one spot that feels a little jerky. It could be in one leg more than the other. Go back into it. Explore that little jerky, shaky area. Tell your brain, I'm safe, my leg is safe, my legs are safe, and I'm just working to help you smooth things out. And then go ahead and lower all the way down. Pause. Nice. Okay. So bring your feet down to the ground and just do some faster heel lifts that will kind of integrate what we've done. You could also do some, bring your feet out and do some ankle circles. We're going to do vocalization, and normally it is done with a Sanskrit term, satnam and satanama, but for our purposes, I tried this a few weeks ago, and I changed it with 4 letters that all have different sounds, so E, F, G, H. So, and there's actual research behind this being very helpful for connecting the mind to vocalization. And so we're going to use it with our fingers, pressing your thumb to each fingertip. So E, and we're going to really enunciate each one and go slowly. So E, F, G, H. We'll do it a few times. E, F, G, H. E, F, G, H. And really press those fingers together. E, F, G, H. One more time. E, F, G, H. Nice. Good job. Wiggle your fingers, bring your hands together, kind of clasp them together, a little massage. Squeeze one and then the other, noticing your fingers. Maybe change up the clasp of your hands. Take some deep breaths, sending your breath energy to your hands. And then clasp your hands together and we'll do our little steeple exercise. So bring your thumbs up, kind of like a steeple, and then your pointer fingers. So we're doing one at a time. Then your middle fingers, ring fingers, pinkies. And now bring your thumbs down, index fingers down, middle fingers down, ring fingers, and pinkies down. Good. And then you can just kind of wiggle on. Maybe take any other movements through your hands that you like to do, or your wrists. You can massage your wrists and your hands. We all need more touch and massage. I wish I had a massage license. I just looked into it for the first time ever, and I realized it's actually a lot of work. So maybe someday, we'll see. Okay, so I think that we'll get up to a standing position. So if any props or if there's anything that you need to get to a standing position, bring those in. And we'll take some of those rocking motions forward and back and really feeling your feet grounded. Notice, look at them. Make sure they're both doing the same thing and prepared to maybe find a little lift in your seat, activation through your quads, your core is on, and then maybe sitting back and then finding a little bit more lift into chair pose. So we can do chair pose in the seat, of course, or find it here. If you're feeling really strong in this, maybe bring your hands to heart center, or you could even reach your arms up. And then come back to seated. I'll do that 3 more times. So reaching your arms either to heart center or up, and then back. Just really focusing into those quad muscles, lower back. If you feel like your lower back has any tension or strain as you're doing this, pull your belly button in a little bit and see if that helps. One more time. So there we are, seated and ready for meditation and Shavasana. So take your time getting into your relaxed position, and that could be any position that you're able to enjoy and find stillness in. So I think the main thing here as we're going into any kind of meditation or Shavasana or Yoga Nidra is finding stillness. So take the time it takes to arrange your space and bring in any props that feel really good to you. If there's any last movement that would make you feel like you could settle even deeper, feel free to do that. Closing your eyes, finding softness within your body. Take another deep breath and then sigh it out. And feel free to do that another time or two. And then see if you could visualize yourself resting in a hammock. A hammock in maybe your favorite space outdoors. Could be in your yard, could be out in the mountains, maybe with some cozy blankets or the sun streaming down on you. Just feeling that nice warm cocoon, the gentle swaying with the breeze, the sound of the wind or maybe water nearby. Allow yourself to rest fully, deepening your relaxation. Relax every cell of your body. Allow the next couple of minutes to just bring you into a deep state of being held. And I will be silent and call us out when we're finished. present moment. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice how the energy of your breath enlivens you, and you can bring that energy down into your torso and through your arms and legs. Gently move your hands and feet. Take any other bigger movements that you'd like to, like a long body stretch or bending your knees and your arms. Slowly making your way back to a seated position, or if you want to stay where you're at, that's fine. And we'll close out together. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm happy to see everyone. The light and love in me sees the light and love in each one of you. Namaste.